how are we going to fix this problem, man, with these goddamn solo shuffles? Well, here's a solution. It's an imperfect solution, and it's one that, you know what, not many people will actually like or use, I don't think, but not everybody does have to use it for this to actually work and to help things out quite a lot. Just make a goddamn 2v2 solo shuffle ladder. Just do it. Christ, make it DPS only if you really, really want to help the 3v3 queues. DPS only, 2v2 ranked solo shuffles, right? Have its own little ladder and stuff, tweak the rewards and stuff to make it a bit different to 3s if you want. And that will soak up a lot of people who can't be asked waiting for super long queue times for the real 3v3 solo shuffle. You know what I'm saying? It will soak up a lot of people. How would it work? Just make it 3 rounds. 2v2s, 3 rounds, everybody plays with each other one time. 3 round 2s, like, that's it. I wouldn't be playing it. I think that would fucking suck a lot. I think that if you're a rogue or a red paladin, by all means, man, cue that 2v2 solo shuffle, you're gonna have a great time, you know? Maybe red paladins aren't the best example, but rogues certainly, you know, there's certain classes that really excel in double DPS 2v2 comps. Rogue is the first one that comes to mind. I'm sure there are others, and there are classes that certainly don't excel in 2v2s. So, yeah, that's what I got. That's the fucking solution, man. I tell you what, though, talking about levers and stuff like that, right? Because levers is a big part of the problem, too. Levers wouldn't be that big of an issue if the queues were quick. Like, if as a DPS I could queue up and I can get into a game in like 3 minutes, and then somebody leaves, it's like, okay, bit annoying, but at least I wasn't waiting for nearly an hour to get into this game, and then some dude gets tilted and leaves. So what the hell do we do about levers, man? Because look, I'm all for like pretty fucking harsh punishments for levers, but at the end of the day, I think that people need to be incentivized to actually play solo shuffle, right? You can't just use a stick, right? You can't just fucking whack healers over the head. Like, you know, I've suggested, because it's usually healers that leave. Let's be real, right? It's usually the healers that leave because the DPS are bitching at them, which is fucking stupid, by the way. What are you doing? What are you doing, man? QQing at your healer in fucking solo shuffle? You know he's just not going to heal you, right? They can just throw it around for you, right? You do understand that they can just deliberately lose every round that you're playing with them on, and they don't give a shit. You're probably going to lose anyway, man, because you're probably the problem. Hey. But no, like, so how do we stop it, man? How do we make healers more incentivized to actually queue? Well, an interesting idea, and this is one that I think overall, I think the pros slightly outweigh the cons. Everybody's just toxic as fuck in these solo shuffles, man. It's like either people say very, very little, or they say garbage shit stuff that you're just like, well, I'm just going to pretend I didn't read that, you know? Like they're just bitching at you over something or whatever, right? Could we just have like a chat wheel? Could we just have like a chat wheel, man? Where you can just like fucking open the chat wheel and you just call what target to go on using the chat wheel and just disable chat so people aren't fucking whining at each other. There's going to be a lot of disagreement about this one. I know that a lot of people are like, oh, well, how are you supposed to communicate more in-depth strategies and how are you supposed to talk about this and talk about what you're going to do and what the tactics are and blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, I don't know what solo shuffles you're experiencing, but communication in my solo shuffles comes down to kill Pala, kill Shadowpr, sit lock, you know. That's the communication, okay, in like most games. Now, if you're the kind of guy who likes to communicate a lot, this change would annoy you quite a bit, I'd imagine. If there was just no option to like chat to people, it would certainly stop the bitching, you know. If you just couldn't chat with the players who you're in the shuffle with, it would certainly stop a lot of the bitching. I think that would stop a lot of the levers. That would also be really, really nice. It wouldn't stop all of them, but I think that it would help. It would reduce the toxicity a little bit. I don't know if the pros outweigh the cons. Let me know what you guys think about that one, man. Now, this is also kind of reliant on Blizzard actually putting in the effort to make a chat wheel only for solo shuffle. Is that going to happen? I don't know. Probably not. But whatever, man. What do you guys think about that, man? Disable chat and have a chat wheel instead in ranked solo shuffle. Is that an idea? Is that a thing? I don't know, dude. I swear there were some other solutions as well, man. Some other ideas that we had. A lot of people, when I asked on stream, were just talking about, oh, more incentives for healers and stuff like that. But I think that Blizzard have already done that, right? They give like an Honor and a Conquest gain boost or something to healers right now. So they're offering like resources. Some people suggested to give them like a big wad of gold for competing as a healer in solo shuffle. Like win or lose, they get like a gold chest based on how many wins they got. It like gets bigger or whatever. I don't know. I don't think that would really help. Do people need gold that badly? That they're willing to... I don't know, man. I'm not sure that it would totally work, man. I'm not sure that it would totally work. So, not something that would actually fix the queue times, but something that would make them a little bit more bearable. What is that? Well, again, it's actually one of Sophie's ideas that she brought up. I think it's a really, really good idea, and it's something that Overwatch does or used to do when you're in the ranked queues, and they were taking a long, long time. Just put people in a deathmatch. Just load people in, right? So, like, I don't know, Blade's Edge Arena, whatever, you know, some random fucking arena, and you're just there in a lobby, you know, up to 10 people are in the lobby at any one time, and you're just in there killing each other in a big-ass free-for-all while you're in the solo shuffle queue. It would give you something to do. Make it so that if you kill people in there, you actually get, you know, I don't know, maybe a third of the honor that you would get for, like, a regular honorable kill, maybe a little bit of gold, something like that, so it's not just, like, a total waste of time, and you're not just doing it to dick around, or just for the joy of it. You should actually get some kind of resource out of being in this little deathmatch waiting area. And it just gives you something to do, you know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, however long you're in the solo queue for, you know? Because, yeah, when you're queuing for skirmishes while you're in the solo shuffle queue, the solo shuffle queue gets paused, obviously, while you're in skirmishes. It's not ticking. Your position in the queue is completely frozen as long as you're in skirmishes. So yeah, while skirmishes has something to do, it actually does just make your queue way fucking longer for the ranked solo shuffles, you know? Whereas this little deathmatch, kind of like skirmish mode deathmatch thing that you get put in while you're in the solo shuffle queue, it would actually give you, it would give you queue progress while you're dicking around and killing people. And that's great. And yes, it should obviously be optional. You shouldn't just be thrown into this fucking deathmatch arena, you know? That'd be stupid. A lot of people like to, you know, do some professions or whatever while they're in the solo shuffle queue. So totally optional, but there it is. I think that would just objectively be a very, very good improvement for the solo shuffle queue experience. Those are some of the ideas that I got. Now, talking about punishments for leavers, we already touched on this. You guys already know my thoughts on this. Have they changed? I don't know, maybe a little bit. I guess I sympathize a little bit more in hindsight with leavers and people who just aren't having fun in the shuffles. I think that just incentivizing people more is the real answer. But punishments for leavers, they're not really harsh enough, to be honest. They're not really harsh enough, either, man. Like a slap on the wrist, and like, people don't care if they lose some fucking rating. Most people are dicking around in solo shuffles while they're waiting. Especially healers. Like, I feel like a lot of healers are just waiting for their friends to come online to play real arenas, and they've got like other things that are prioritizing. They're not hyper-focused on ranking up on solo shuffle, you know. Not a lot of them anyway. And so I sort of feel like they care a lot less about just leaving, you know. And I'm not saying that to like pin it on the healers. I'm saying that I get it, you know. So incentivizations to make more people queue as healer, I don't know that that would work. I also don't know that harsher punishments would work. We talked about like just deleting the highest item level piece of gear off of your character. Little bit harsh. We've joked about, or if you leave a solo shuffle twice in a week, you just get reset back to level 60 and you have to level again. And there's all kinds of stupid ones that you can come up with. A good idea that people had, and that Sophie brought up on stream, was sending the character to jail. You know, you're just stuck in Torghast, and you gotta do chores for like 40 minutes. Or just do Torghast, like Torghast runs for 40 minutes or something, and you don't get to leave until you've done your chores in Torghast. You don't get to leave jail, prison, until you've done your chores, you know? I don't know, that would be pretty fucking funny. Maybe that could work as well. Honestly, I'd like to see people... Man, I'd like to see people having to do that shit here in Valdrakken, dude. I'd like to see people, like, having to walk around with a little ball and chain on their legs, and they can't fly around on their dragon until they've moved, like, I don't know, like a pile of sandbags over here. So, like, over here, and your character walks, like, 90% slower while you're doing it. And you got some taskmaster watching you do that shit, you know? And you don't get to do shit until you've done that. That kind of shit, it's funny to think about. Is it ever going to happen? Probably not. I don't know what Blizzard are going to do, because the punishments aren't working. They're not stopping people from leaving. People value their time and their happiness playing the game, I guess, more than they value their rating, you know? Current punishment is a joke. Actually, it's better for your rating if you leave a 0 and 5 lobby. Is that actually true? No. Hopefully that's not actually true, right? I thought you lost extra rating if you leave. Ah, you're actually right, man, Deidre. You're right, yeah, so the leavers penalty sucks. Because when you leave, you lose, like, your current rating. You don't lose MMR. So even though you lose a bunch if you leave, at least your MMR stays the same, so hypothetically when you queue again, you can climb back up. Yeah, you can jump straight back up to where you were, right? Oh my god. Yeah, I didn't even think about that, man. What are Blizzard actually going to do? Are they going to intensify the leaving penalty? I don't fucking know, man, but hey. Focus of this video, the 2v2 solo shuffles, you know, 3 rounds, 2v2s, DPS only. That would actually soak up a lot of the DPS plays. It would hopefully make the queues much quicker in the 3v3 shuffles, right? Because hypothetically, it'd have more DPS queuing for the 2v2 one. Would it work? Would it help things? Would it mean that there are fewer DPS queuing overall, and so the queues are a bit faster? Because right now there's so many DPS people queuing for 3s and not enough healers. Would it help? Fuck, I don't even know, man. What do you guys think? Thanks for watching, everybody. I had a happy little chat in this video. I'm interested to read your comments down below. This is the sign off. Catch all you guys a tad bit later.